We tip off the Sports Mag Zone with basketball. For many fans and pundits, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to have ever lived. But after a 20-year career, punctuated by 4 championship rings, the NBA point-scoring record, and many other accolades, the 38-year-old is thinking about calling time on his illustrious NBA journey. LeBron dropped the bomb after the Lakers were swept 4-0 by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, which ended on Monday night with a 113-111 defeat at the Crypto.com arena.
It's challenging. It's challenging, for sure. It was a very challenging season, for me, for our ball club. And obviously, we know we went on early on or whatever the case may be, but it was a pretty cool ride. But I don't know. I think it was okay. I don't like to say it's a successful year because I don't play for anything besides winning championships at this point in my career, and I don't get a kick out of making a conference appearance. I've done it a lot, and and it's not fun to me to not be able to be a part of getting to the finals, but we'll see what happens going forward. But I don't know. I got a lot to think about, to be honest. And just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
Well, joining us, as he has been throughout these playoffs, is our NBA expert, Alister Albert. Alister, good afternoon.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Thanks for having me as usual.
Right, and LeBron, he has openly stated he wants to share the court with his eldest son, Bronny. He said that a couple of times. Do you think he has had a change of heart? Or, how I interpreted it, is it that he's just controlling the narrative?
It's funny, and coming off the sweep that they did, I kind of said to myself, the next time I'm on, I'm not going to engage in any sort of LeBron bashing or anything. This is one of the all-time greats. He's done, a remarkable amount for the game individually and everything. But when I heard that conversation, and considering Carmelo Anthony had retired earlier on in the day and the adulation that he was getting and everything, I did kind of think to myself, and I've never gone to this conclusion, but exactly like what you said, Mariah, I kind of felt like he was trying to change the narrative. And a Western Conference executive said it in the media today. It's like, he's just really just trying to take everyone's attention off the sweep. And we're now going to be in LeBron watch mode for the rest of the summer. Will he or will he not retire and everything? And like you said as well, he's spoken very much about wanting to play with Bronny, coming up into the NBA potentially. He's considered to be probably a top 10 draft pick in 2024, 2025, I believe. Of course, he committed to USC, University of Southern Carolina, to play basketball next season. And, of course, after that is the draft. 2 more years on LeBron's contract as well, which lines up perfectly with that. So I find it very suspicious that now, all of a sudden, all of these dreams that he had to be like Ken Griffey Jr. in baseball, who played with his father, and him wanting to do the same in basketball, that all of a sudden now, after this sweep, which was probably very much of a gut punch, causing him to reevaluate his basketball mortality. But that's what happens when you see you lose, and you consider yourself one of the greatest or the greatest in basketball. Expectations. We had this conversation from Giannis Antetokounmpo when he said, it's steps to success. But for LeBron, like he said, he plays for championships, and getting swept like he has never done before the finals, that probably had to make him reevaluate where he is in his career.
Alister, the quote, one of the things that he said after an interview, my last year will be played with my son. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year. It's not about the money at that point. So he would even give up money, and this was, just a couple years ago he would have been saying this. Let's just say last season. he would give up even money to play with his son because, of course, it's more than just that for him. So with that narrative, and then him being questioned just after, being kicked out of the playoffs, I think it was more emotional response versus, him thinking logically as to what he would have said before.
Exactly, and one of the NBA analysts, Brian Winhouse, who mentioned, he's kind of been in those situations where stars kind of make those emotional utterances after being kicked out of the finals, whether they win or lose. He kind of even articulated Ray Allen when you see they won with Miami. He said, he was done, and he actually thought Ray Allen probably had 2 more years. I thought so as well. Ray Allen looked like he could kind of still contribute to a team, and he retired, and that was it. Richard Jefferson, after they won with the Cavaliers, he said he was done, and he ended up playing 2 more years afterwards as well. So superstars, after milestone moments, whether it be winning or losing in dramatic fashion, do tend to have a very emotional response as to what they want to do later on in their career. And I think getting swept like that, in that fashion, really definitely had LeBron thinking. But if he's going to retire, let me tell you what he's going to do. If he does retire, he's going to retire for 1 year, and he'll do the Michael Jordan "I'm back" thing to play Bronny, and again controlling the narrative and having the hype about coming back and everything. So let's see what happens. But I don't think he will retire. But this is LeBron definitely controlling the narrative and wanting to kind of spin it in some positive way that makes him look good at some point.
Yeah, LeBron. Well, Alister. Do you see LeBron James leading the Los Angeles Lakers to another NBA title?
The operative word you use there is leading. As we saw,
and I was very deliberate. I was very deliberate to use that word as well, Alister.
All right. Since you're being very deliberate, no, I don't see him leading a team to another championship. It would have to be someone like Anthony Davis or some superstar coming in. They're talking about bringing Kyrie Irving in and all that sort of stuff. So whatever the roster construction will be like next year or whenever he chooses to play again, the star player of that team will probably be someone else, with LeBron having a strong supporting role to that. But leading another team to a championship, I think we've seen, he gets tired now. He's not immortal anymore. This is not LeBron that was in the league in 2003 when he came in as an invincible rookie. It's time for him to move on and pass the torch to someone else to lead this team to a championship.
Having said that, isn't it then dangerous for any NBA franchise that LeBron James be talking about staying on to play with his son? I know he has said it's not about the money, but can't it potentially be dangerous for any franchise that he decides or attempts to do that with?
Dangerous? No, because the franchise who does it will be looking at if he stays with the Lakers, it might be dangerous because what he's going to be doing is probably affecting the cap situation and being able to bring other players in because LeBron will be controlling what happens on that roster. If he goes to another team, like he had kind of alluded to Oklahoma City and loving Sam Presti and the moves that he makes and all that sort of stuff. If he goes to a team like Oklahoma City or another team, anyone, it will be about revenue for that team and the spectacle of LeBron playing with his son. So I don't think the team in itself will probably be in any dangerous situation because I think they understand it will be a rental for the merchandise, the TV deals and everything that will come with LeBron and Bronny playing on their team. So dangerous, it'll just be a rental for them. I don't think it'll be dangerous at all. A team should be able to recover from that and have that blip of the influx of money that LeBron will bring to their town and franchise.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the winners now. The Nuggets, of course, their first NBA Finals in franchise history, Alister. What does it mean to this franchise?
It's awesome. It's really good to see, a fresh team, a fresh face kind of cementing themselves into the finals. And of course, again, it's really sad to see Carmelo Anthony, a long-time leader of this team, when he entered the league with LeBron in 2003, retiring on the day that they actually made the finals. And, this is a guy who probably should be honored, in the first game of the finals, I'd like to think. What he done. But of course, let's talk about the current team. Nikola Jokic, of course, deserving of the Magic Johnson Award, Western Conference MVP. He played superbly throughout this whole season, not just the playoffs, the whole season. Arguably could have been a regular season MVP as well. And he was able to lead his team all the way to the finals, averaging a triple-double, but also not just on his own, with the help of Jamal Murray, who I said had to average at least 25 points a game this series, and he was able to do that. Aaron Gordon came up big time, came up with 22 points, I believe, 5 and 6, or 6 rebounds and 5 assists in this game as well, playing really good defense and in different matchups as well. So yeah, it's great to see them into the finals, and I think they're kind of going in as the favorites, no matter who they face in these finals. Most likely, probably Miami, based on what the series situation is right now. And yeah, it would be good to see them close it out. Jamal Murray has constantly been counting down how many more games it is to win their first championships, and it's 4 more wins. And let's see if they can do that against who comes out from the East.
Yeah, looking forward to see how they go about doing that. Now, over on the East Coast, Jason Tatum led the Boston Celtics to their first win in the Eastern Conference Finals to give themselves hope against the Miami Heat.
A night ago, the Denver Nuggets swept the LA Lakers out of the playoffs and headed to the finals. Tonight, the Miami Heat trying to sweep the Celtics and book their ticket as well. Start you off in the first quarter, Jimmy Butler hitting the turnaround fadeaway jumper, tying the game at 12 apiece. Then Gabe Vincent pulls up and knocks down a three-pointer. He had 17 points in the game. Then it's Butler's turn, forcing the turnover on Jason Tatum. Kyle Lowry gets it to Max Strus. He throws it down, and there goes Miami in front by 7 already. But the Boston Celtics push back. Al Horford hits the three-pointer. He had 12.7 rebounds and 4 assists. Then Jason Tatum drives the lane for the layup to tie the game up at 34 apiece. Then it's Malcolm Brogdon over to Derek White in the corner for 3, and now Boston has a 2-point lead, 42-40. Max Strus to Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin knocks down a three-pointer. Then Gabe Vincent behind the back to Bam Adebayo for the jam. Watch this. He's got 2 Celtics defenders on him, and cleverly right behind his back to create the space, and Bam just throws that one home. And Grant Williams misses a 3. Jimmy Butler rebounds and passes ahead to Martin for the layup. Martin, 14 points on 6 of 6 shooting in the first half alone. Miami led it by 6 at the break, and all the stars are out. Anthony Edwards and Alex Rodriguez at the game. PGA Championship winner Brooks Koepka, and a former Yankee, that's right, Derek Jeter in the house. Third quarter, Jason Tatum, 3. Then off a Heat turnover, Jaylen Brown finishes with the fast break layup. The Heat had 15 turnovers in this game. Jason Tatum now driving and hitting the tough layup. He had 14 points in the third quarter. Boston now up by 9 and trying to stay around in these playoffs. Jimmy Butler, though, drives in for the reverse layup. Then it's Butler driving and hitting the turnaround hook. Hit 15 points in the quarter, 29 on the game, and now it's back down to a 4-point game late third quarter. We move to the fourth. Derek White blocks Duncan Robinson. We go the other way. Jason Tatum to Jaylen Brown. He just rises up and over Bam Adebayo for the throwdown. There's a beautiful block. There's another look at that, and just a terrific jam. Then Jason Tatum hits the step back 3, and Boston's now cooking. They're up 97-83. Celtics in transition. Marcus Smart to Jaylen Brown for the layup plus the foul. He'd make the free throw, so 105-89. Then Smart to Tatum. He had 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists in the game. Boston wins it 116-99.
Alister, of all the playoff series in history, teams are 0-150 when facing a 3-0 deficit. Could the Celtics become the first team to break that trend?
I predicted Celtics in 7, but I don't think it's going to go that far. Them winning that game last night was really good for them. You know, it kind of brought some life and some hope to them. Jaylen Brown, I think, told the media at one point, don't let us win one game, because if we do, we can get on a... And, you know, so he's kind of predicting something special coming from this. But I think, you know, I'll give them a second game. They're going back home. to the Boston Garden now. You know, they could probably pull that one out, but I kind of see it's really hard to think they could beat Miami 4 games, you know, to kind of win this series, considering the way they've been playing and the energy, the confidence, and the composure and just tenacity that Miami has been playing with throughout this whole playoffs, to be quite honest, and with Jimmy Butler leading them all the way. So I kind of give them another game to be won. And I think Miami will close out in Game 6 at home.
Right, and how good was Jason Tatum? Of course, you know, he looks different from the one I saw that lost previously to the Heat.
Yeah, it's all confidence. You know, when it's something when you see you play basketball. You know, anyone who plays basketball and played at some you know, organized level, high level. I played up to semi-professional here in the UK. Once you see you kind of hitting shots, you feel good about yourself and you feel like the next shot you take will win. But these guys, as pro basketball players, you know, they think no matter if they miss, the next one will score. And Jason Tatum has shown, you know, he has the capabilities of going 3 quarters playing horribly and then in the 4th quarter just exploding. But this was a game where I think they mixed up a lot of their jump shots with their slash into the basket. We saw that a lot from Jason Tatum himself. You know, he was kind of getting to the basket and was able to kind of use his dribbles at the top of the key and step into rhythmically into step back jump shots from the 3-point line that were being scored. So, you know, he was in a rhythm. You know, the Celtics are a team, they are now a jump shooting team, and if they're able to score off jump shots, they're going to be very hard to stop. And also, very importantly, the turnovers were a lot less this time. Just like last year, I said the magic number for the Celtics to win or lose is 15. If they had 15 turnovers, they're likely to lose. Each of the 3 games they played before, they had 15 turnovers and they lost. Last night, they only had 10. So controlling the ball and keeping it in their possession is really important, and they were able to do that. So let's see if we replicate this tomorrow in Game 5 and pull out another win.
Well, what's for sure, Alister, is we're at the fun part of the NBA and we're looking forward. We want to thank you, first of all, for joining us today, and of course, looking forward to chat with you again very, very soon.
Definitely. See you guys soon. No problem.
All right.
Always, man. You know this. I'm going to be all right. So will Lakers.
All right. Well, Alister Albert there, our NBA analyst. Thank you so much. It's break time. We'll be right back.